Hello everyone, this is Priyasha Das from XAT, and in this video we'll be discussing some XAT specific RCs. So what we are going to do here is we are going to talk about what are the general types of RCs, like what do you expect in XAT, how are they different from CAT or any other omits, and what are the areas in which you can focus and try to maximize your score in the XAT RCs. So starting on with the views which I and almost all the other people have on the XAT RCs are, and I also discussed it a little bit. Of course, you know that the professors are not very frank in speaking up the exact things and the ideas that what do they keep in mind while framing the questions. But then they just is like an informal discussion, come up with the things which might help you people. So I've just gathered these points together and tried to put it up together in this video. Hope you like it and it is helpful to you. And if it is, then please don't forget to like this video and share it with more and more people. I'm telling this in the beginning itself because you people generally forget to do that. So therefore, please share this video without fail. And if you're new to the channel, do subscribe as well. So let's get started with the things which I have gathered. Remember, this is not a very easy interview process that I'll go to the professor or I'll go to the industry experts or the people who are there, an alumni of XLRI or anyone, and I'll just go and tell them a list of questions and they will answer me back. That's not the way how I collect data, and that's not how you can collect data as well. Because if you directly go to a professor and ask them, the professor will, shout at me, scream at me, and tell that, okay, you want a question paper, take the question paper and go. So that's not possible, okay? So what we do is we get into a very informal conversation, and then from there we get to know the points which might be helpful to you. So understand the, you know, amount of time and effort I put in to bring these points out. So if you really find them useful, do show your love by sharing these videos and commenting below and liking as well. So let's get started. The first point which I have generally seen in these AT RCs myself as well as my other friends and colleagues have seen this is that it's from unfamiliar fields. Now, when I say unfamiliar fields, I mean that the fields which you generally don't read. For example, psychology. Not really. Many of you read psychology articles, but many RCs, like it has been seen over a period of time that one of the RCs are definitely somewhere touching either science or neurology or psychology, communication based, like deeper communication and things like that. So there are some sectors or some fields which you will always find which you must not have read in your general reading process. Like generally, what do people read? They read newspapers, and newspapers they read about the various things going up and down and the changes, the new things, the new technological advancements. But how often have you read a very deep rooted or deep cited literature book or a psychology related book or let's say sociology related book, something which is slightly untouched? So your RCs in the ZAT are slightly from that section. Now the reason why they give this is what I discussed and found out is they want to check your expertise in the area which is not known to you. So are you going to come out of your comfort zone and pick up the RC and answer the questions? This is what the professors try to check in you when they give you the RCs from a very different and varied section or field. And one more thing is that it's a very, common mentality of people that suppose you don't like politics at all. I have discussed this in my videos as well, like the live RC sessions. If you haven't checked any of them, please go and check the live section of the channel. And from there, refer to the videos over there, how I make notes for RCs. So over there, if you see, I have discussed there itself and I'm discussing here also that the questions are, generally being asked from a very different field. Like, for example, you don't like politics, but there's a full passage on politics. So, how would you deal with that? So, for that, you would be like the very first thing your mind will say you is, okay, can we just move on? So can we just not, skip to the good part according to the Insta language? But then, yeah, you think that just because you don't know about the topic, you will better leave the RC and move ahead. But the thing is that just the process or just the field is not something which should bother you. You should read the questions, decide how many of them are fact-based, how many of them are inference-based, and then take a decision or a call whether you should attempt the RC or not. Second thing which I have generally seen in the RCs is that they are argumentative or abstract in nature, something which is reflecting on a thought. Let's say it's reflecting on how sati was practiced earlier and what kind of things were happening, good and bad. Okay, that can either be an abstract thing or an argumentative nature, like should sati be banned or not. Like, see, sati is a very general thing. Many of you will say that, okay, we should ban. It's of course a cost of life, so nothing can be, more dearer than life of someone. So definitely yes, but the argumentative essays are very thought provoking. Thought provoking in the sense, let's say that something to which we can't come on a conclusion. If you guys have gone through my essay topics, which I shared in the previous videos, or the topics which I shared in my Telegram group for you people to practice, I really appreciate a couple of people who, without fail, wrote essays all the 6 days I asked them to write. I definitely think that I will provide you all my extended help possible during your GDPI rounds, of course, for free, that because you people have shown that diligence, and I love people who show hard work and diligence towards their preparation. I will extend all my help towards you people. So for you people, go to the Telegram group, discussion group, and see that how people have written essays on those topics, something in which you cannot come to a conclusion, like is work life balance a myth? So this is argumentative in nature. You have many points for and you have many points against. So generally the passages are like this, and when the passages are like this, there is a very big error which people do. In simple language, we call it getting carried away. So if you get carried away or you put your own opinion, that is the place where you fall, because that's the major mistake you people do in such RCs. And many of you are bound to do that. Number of people watching this video will now prepare against it. But imagine a number of people who have no references before this. They would be like, okay, we just have to answer the question and put our own thoughts, be creative. That's what everyone asks us to be, right? But that's not the way how you do the things over here. Here they are, that one kid always in our class who is like poking everyone around and instigating them to start a fight. And when you actually start giving him a punch, he will go and cry in front of the teacher and say that, oh my God, he hit me. So that kind of a child is actually that paper, okay? It will keep provoking you and it will keep instigating you to think in a different dimension, so that either you waste time thinking about that, अरे नहीं नहीं ये तो बिल्कुल गलत है, ऐसा तो बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए, आप खुद सोचने लग जाओगे और आपका टाइम वेस्ट हो जाएगा. Either this will be one of the consequences, or the consequences will be that the inference based questions, you will like the answer which you are going to give will be influenced by your own biases, your own opinions, and that is what they want. But after watching this video, this is what you will never do. Okay. Now the third view on the XAT RC is that it's generally very boring and difficult to comprehend. It's boring. Look, I'll be very honest to tell you this, that the CAT RCs are far more interesting than the XAT RCs. Far more interesting. The topics are relevant to something you have learned or heard about in the recent future. But when it comes to that, it really tests your patience by giving you long, lengthy, boring RCs. And even I will go to the extent of saying such verbose RCs and such heavy jargons used somewhere in one and two RCs that you will feel like, just banging your head on that monitor. Like, but then that's the patience they test in you. So you know this. And once you know this and you're ready for this, nothing can stop you. See, if something comes as a sudden surprise, you will feel very bad. But if you know that सामने वाला है ही खराब बंदा, उसके साथ मुझे patience के साथ काम करना है, so life becomes slightly simpler and easy. Correct? Now we come to the fourth and the last view I have on the art RCs. That is considerable sense of imagery and abstruse matter is used over here. Now what they do is they use a lot of imagery. यानी उनको ना मुहावरों में, proverbs में बात करना, idioms में बात करना बहुत अच्छा लगता है. And at the same time personification में बात करना बहुत अच्छा लगता है. If they want to tell you like something is beautiful, Instead of directly writing that something is beautiful, they will compare it with a very beautiful flower or a very rare diamond or something like that. Okay, so they use a lot of imagery in their RCs, and that is what they want to test कि इस बंदे की literature में knowledge कितनी है. If you are unaware of, let's say, the speciality of unicorn, many of you who don't know about unicorn, you will be like, yeah, unicorn तो एक animal ही होगा. But those who know about unicorn, that it's an imaginary animal with one horn on its head, compared to beauty and compared to uniqueness. So if I'm calling someone as a unicorn in a paragraph, that means I'm comparing him or her with the features of unicorn. So that's how literature comes into play over here. So the ones who read a lot of books or something similar, that they will definitely find it easy. But what would you folks do in the last 20 or some less number of days left? For you guys, I have a set of tips. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some tips right now which will help you in your that specific RC. Stay tuned with the video because at the end, I'm also going to tell you a number of questions to practice upon. I'll also put that in my Telegram group. So if you haven't joined it yet, please join it. Make use of all the content available there till the time being so that you can avoid spending a lot of bucks into other things. Okay, okay, let's have the tips. Tips number one on your screen right now. Please make yourself aware of the various tones. If you don't know what are the different types of tones, like ironical tone, hyperbolic tone, sarcastic tone, naive tone, objective tone, please go and search that in the Google or else refer to my videos, folks. Why don't you refer to my old videos? I know when I started the channel, it was not so famous, but then at least the content was still great quality as it is right now. So yes, you can go back to my own old videos. I'll be sending you the links of those in the description box. Don't forget to refer to them and go through them and see the tones. Knowing the tones will really help you a lot. And I can guarantee you that you will get at least 3, 4 questions where you can apply your knowledge of tones and get the answers 100% correct. So no tones. And this is what will help you in the last few days. If it would have been 1 year period, I would have told you many other things to do. But this video is only concentrated for the folks who are trying to prepare in the given limited period of time for the XAT examination and were still not doing great in the verbal section. Now, the second tip I want to give you people is have a very good knowledge about critical reasoning. I've been telling this in all my videos. I've also told you that around 18 questions are there which you can expect directly and indirectly from the critical reasoning section. But something which I want to tell you again is inference, conclusion, and assumption. At least get the difference between these three. And again, I would refer you back to my own old videos only with all the confidence in mind and mouth that I have literally explained you very nicely the difference between inference, conclusion, and assumption so that you guys don't get confused and can eliminate the options like anything easily. Okay, refer to those videos, use the QRS, that is quick revision sheet, or else the links in the description box. And please make yourself an expert in the critical reasoning section for the last remaining days. Now, the third thing, which is very, very specially seen in the questions of that specific RCs, are the questions which have the word except, which have the word not true. So there in the RCs, they will tell us or they will write contrary to. You will be like, okay, I'll find out the true sentence and then they will say except. Okay, so please read the question carefully. Which of the following option holds the views of the author except? Okay, that means out of the 5 options, 4 of them are holding the views of the author, and you have to find out which one is not holding. So please read the words like except, not true, contrary to, etc. And that will help you a lot to avoid silly mistakes in the examination. All right, I guess this one is a good tip to remember. Now, the fourth tip which I want to give you is now listen to me very, very carefully over here. This is something which I have found from my personal experience. I have not discussed this with anyone because if I go and discuss, people might laugh at me. But then I know that generally this is a pattern which I've observed for the past 2 years paper I have given, like 2 exams I have given. Over there, I have observed that generally the first few RCs, like the first RC or maybe the second RC instance, is generally slightly tougher, lengthy, or boring compared to the ones which are present in the middle or slightly later. So maybe try the backward method over here and try to either skim through all the RCs first and pick your favorite one, or maybe, just give the try to the last RC of the section and you have the full privilege to jump over sections. So that will not be a problem for you anyhow. So maybe move backwards and see which RC should you start with. Okay. Either, see, this is from my personal experience. I again say this, that I find generally that the RCs which are towards the middle or towards the end are, slightly easier than the ones which are in the beginning. You can, of course, not just blindly follow this, but skim through the RCs before starting to attempt it seriously. Okay, that's what tip I'll give you over here. Now, the tip number 5 is, if you are not confident about any question, let's say that you are not able to understand the sentence or you're not able to understand the RC very much in detail and depth, then I'll suggest you to just skim through the passage, understand the basic things over here, like what is it actually talking about, what is it all about, and then refer to the questions which are either direct tone related, central theme related, main idea related, title related. Okay, it can be title related also. And let me think, any such kind of a direct question, or also what I called as the fact-based questions. Please refer and go and search for the fact-based questions. This is also a high alert tip for the ones who are not having a very good time in the verbal section and want to just clear the cutoff. Especially आप लोगों के लिए आपका सबसे पहला task होगा to skim through the entire verbal section and find out the questions which are डायरेक्ट फैक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन, चाहे वो अलग अलग पैसेजेस के क्यों ना हो. किसी ने ये थोड़ी कहा है कि आपको पूरा पैसेज के सारे क्वेश्चंस आंसर करने होंगे. Just refer to the questions which are direct fact-based questions and go on, attempt them. At least 3/4 तो आपको मिल ही जाएंगे, which will be exactly or directly fact-based questions. And the last one, but a very important one, something which was my observation also, that there is a very big or large use of imagery. So you have to develop a sense of imagery. हर चीज को एक पोएट की आंखों से नेक्स्ट लास्ट 2-3 वीक्स के लिए देखना शुरू कर दीजिए. किसी की तारीफ करनी है तो उसे ब्यूटीफुल बुलाने की जगह सनफ्लावर बुलाइए. Just a joke. All right. So you have to develop that sense of imagery. If you remember last year or last to last year, there was a poem of black, 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 everything black. So here black refers to what? Hollow, negativity, things like that. Right. So think it in that direction. And this is especially going to help you a lot in the poem-based RCs. Okay. So you all have to figure that out, that everything will have a imagery perspective. Nothing is a straight line. If someone is saying that I'm holding your hand, that just not physically holding your hand, but that can actually mean that you are literally, trying to show your support or holding on, not letting them go, or something like deeper meaning, जिसे हम कहते हैं simple language में. So try to figure out or analyze everything in a deeper perspective. Maybe that will help you a lot in the ZAT based RCs. And that's all for the video, guys. Again, a quick call to you people, that if you found this video useful, then don't forget to like this video, and for 110% you have to share this video in all your WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, whichever groups you have related to your CAT preparation. Please definitely share this video and make this video reach more number of people. At least everyone should go and they should be knowing the fact that there's a channel called Crack That, right? Okay, so please help me do that. And of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe as well. I'll come up with more such videos. But let me just quickly show you one very important thing which I was about to show you at the end. These are some specific questions I've pulled up from an exercise which I have practiced myself. These were some passages which I found were really important with respect to your ZAT examination, quite relevant and ZAT specific, the things which I mentioned right now. So all of this will be shared with you people in the Telegram group. So if you are not a part of it, make sure you use the link or just go and type Cracks That in Telegram. It's a public channel. You will get it over there. Okay. Join both the discussion group and the normal group so that you can put your messages and questions in the discussion group and see my important notes and materials in the main group. All right, then. Thank you so much and stay healthy and study well. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you so much.